Gastrointestinal issues are on a rise, and SIBO is a major contributor to today's health issues. We all know that diet plays a profound role in the management of diseases, and it applies to SIBO as well. In this video, we will discuss what to eat on a SIBO diet. If this is of interest to you, we recommend you stick around till the end of the video. What to eat on a SIBO diet coming up. This video is brought to you by Good Health Corner. At Good Health Corner, we bring research health information in a simplified manner that is easy to understand. If you like what you see here, we request you to support us by clicking the like, subscribe and the bell icon, as this will ensure that you get notified every time we release a new video. Disclaimer: the health statements made in this video and the site are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure or prevent any disease. They're solely for information purposes. Always consult your doctor before implementing any treatment protocol. Now coming back to the topic, let's understand what is SIBO. SIBO stands for Small Intestine Bacterial Overgrowth. In this condition, there is an overpopulation of bacterial development in the small intestine area. The bacterial flora of the small intestine and the large intestine are different in nature. And in the case of SIBO, part of the bacterial flora of the large intestine populates the small intestine. The small intestine is a passage in the gut where our foods are broken down and digested. And the bacteria in this region of the intestine produces enzymes to break different food components for proper digestion and absorption. And in addition to this, the bacteria in the small intestine also produces short-chain fatty acids and vitamins and other nutrients. SIBO can have cascading health issues like causing a leaky gut condition or overproduction of ammonia in the body, which is a neurotoxin. It can also cause maldigestion and malabsorption, as the bacteria can interfere with enzymatic and metabolic activities. And this can lead to B12 deficiency, protein deficiency and fat malabsorption. We all know that anything to do with the gut can affect the brain. The gut is responsible for the production of very essential neurotransmitters like serotonin, for example. And any disruption of the gut flora can lead to an imbalance of neurotransmitters and affecting our mood and state of mind. For example, one of the major functions of serotonin is intestinal motility, which has a role to play in SIBO. The general symptoms of SIBO may include stomach pain, bloating, gas, diarrhea or constipation, weight loss, foggy brain, tiredness, just to name a few. Now let's understand what causes SIBO. There are many defense mechanisms which the body has for preventing bacterial overgrowth. And SIBO usually happens when the protective antibacterial mechanisms do not work as intended, anatomical abnormalities, or where there are motility issues. But in most cases, it arises from small intestinal motility issues and pancreatitis. Now let's get to what is SIBO diet. Since SIBO is excessive growth of bacteria in the small intestine, the diet required for SIBO is one that helps to reduce the population of these bacteria. So it is essential that we choose a diet that does not provide food to these bacteria to thrive. And the requirement is to limit or eliminate foods that feed this bacteria. Every human individual has a unique gastrointestinal microbiome. And what works for one might not work for the other. So, this is essentially choosing the right foods and eliminating the ones which causes the symptoms to return in your case, while continuing with the ones which are tolerated by your body. The main food for the bacteria are carbohydrates, and thus most of the dietary interventions for SIBO would target reducing the consumption of carbohydrates. And this is because the overpopulation of bacteria in the small intestine ferments carbohydrates and produces gas. And this leads to uncomfortable conditions and gastrointestinal distress. So in SIBO, we need to reduce the consumption of these fermentable carbohydrates. There are three main diets which have been found to be beneficial for SIBO. All of these diets target at reducing fermentable carbohydrates from the diet in varied degrees. And these are low Fodmap diet, specific carbohydrate diet and elemental diet. Let's understand these one at a time. Low Fodmap diet. Fodmap is an acronym for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides and polyols. These categories of foods are all high in fermentable carbohydrates, which are known stressors of the digestive system. The diet essentially classifies foods that are Fodmap and categorizes them as high or low. But it also should be kept in mind that the amount of low Fodmap foods should also be monitored. And this is because large quantity of low Fodmap food can also have an equal adverse effect on health as a high Fodmap food. Let's understand the foods that are okay to be consumed in this diet. Foods that are allowed: low Fodmap foods. Among vegetables, you can have baby spinach, lettuce, cucumber, zucchini, carrots, fennel, green beans, eggplant, broccoli, and chives. In proteins, you can have beef, turkey, lamb, eggs, tofu, chicken, and cold cuts. Among fats, you can have oils, butter, peanuts, macadamias, walnuts, and pumpkin seeds. In fruits, you can have grapes, oranges, kiwi fruit, pineapple, and strawberries. Within fish, you can have salmon, tuna, lobster, crab, and shrimp. And other foods could include potatoes, quinoa, brown rice, tortilla chips, gluten-free bread, and popcorn. Now, foods that are not allowed, which are high Fodmap foods. Among vegetables, there are onions, garlic, asparagus, beans, mushrooms, scallions, and shallots. Among proteins, all processed meats and meats served with onion and garlic sauce or fillings. Within fats, the foods to be avoided are avocados, pistachios, cashews, and almonds. Among fruits, again, avocado, watermelon, peaches, dates, blackberries, and prunes. Within fish, fish on a batter or breaded, and with onions or garlic sauce. Other foods to avoid: gluten-based products, lentils, beans, pastries, pastas, etc. Research tells us that the use of a low Fodmap diet shows that from 52% to 86% of patients report significant improvement in their IBS symptoms with the elimination of high Fodmap foods. Specific carbohydrate diet. The specific carbohydrate diet is essentially an elimination diet. And it works on the basic principle of eliminating certain types of carbohydrates which could be potential triggers in gastrointestinal conditions. The idea behind SID is that not all can digest complex carbohydrates, and this can lead to a condition of undigested carbs. And this undigested carb can be the food for the dysbiotic bacteria in the gut. The specific carbohydrate diet allows the consumption of simple and easily digestible carbohydrates, preventing the buildup of undigested carbohydrates in the gut. And they should ideally prevent the breeding of the dysbiotic flora and the associated discomforts with it. SID uses simple monosaccharides or single molecules, as these are easily digested and absorbed by the body. Disaccharides and polysaccharides are not allowed in this diet so as to not feed the bacterial overgrowth, because SID aims at starving the bad bugs in the gut and eliminating them. With the reduction of the dysbiosis, clinical improvement is seen with a reduction in pain, discomfort, and bloating. Let's understand foods that are allowed in SID. Among proteins, you can have eggs, chicken, turkey, beef, fish, pork, wild game, bacon, lamb. Among vegetables, you can have asparagus, beets, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, carrots, celery, cucumbers, eggplant, garlic, kale, lettuce, mushrooms, onions, peas, peppers, pumpkin, spinach, squash, string beans, tomatoes, and watercress. Among fruits, you can have commonly found fresh, frozen, or dried fruits with nothing added are acceptable, like apples, avocados, bananas which are ripe with black spots, berries of all kinds, coconut, dates, grapefruit, grapes, kiwi fruit, lemons, limes, mangoes, melons, oranges, papayas, peaches, pears, pineapple, prunes, raisins, etc. Among dairy, you can have the SID yogurt, natural 30-day aged cow and goat cheese, butter, ghee, and dry curd cottage cheese. Among nuts, you can have almonds, pecans, Brazil nuts, hazelnuts, walnuts, cashews, chestnuts with no additives. Among legumes, you can have peanuts, white beans, navy beans, lentils, split peas, lima beans, kidney beans, black beans. Spices. Most non-mixed spices are allowed. Screen for anti-caking agents and make sure the ingredients are listed. Drinks. You can have weak tea or coffee, water, mineral water, club soda, dry wine, gin, rye, scotch, bourbon, or vodka. Among sweeteners, you can have honey. Now let's understand foods that are not allowed in SID. No cereal grains: wheat, barley, corn, rye, oats, rice, buckwheat, millet, triticale, bulgur, spelt, quinoa, nothing. Among meats, ham, processed sausages, lunch meats, bratwurst, turkey dogs, hot dogs are not allowed. In vegetables, canned vegetables are not allowed. Fruits, canned fruits, fruit juices with added sugar, not allowed. Among legumes, soybeans, chickpeas, bean sprouts, mung beans, fava beans, garbanzo beans, not allowed. Among dairy, commercial yogurts, milk of any kind, unnatural cheeses. These are Kraft and most other mainstream shredded cheeses fall into this group. Among starches, including potatoes, yams, sweet potatoes, arrowroot, corn chip, cornstarch, tapioca starch, all of them. Spices, curry powders, most onion and garlic powders are filled with anti-caking agents. These are not allowed. Among drinks, instant coffee, most commercial juices, milk, soda pop, sweet wines, flavored liqueurs, brandy, sherry, not allowed. Among sweeteners, sugar of any kind, cane, coconut, table, etc., agave syrup, maple syrup, artificial sweeteners, not allowed. A survey was conducted on patients with inflammatory bowel disease and the use of SIBO diet. There were 417 respondents to the online survey, and almost all of the respondents showed clinical improvement by being on the diet. Now the last one, elemental diet. And this is perhaps the most complex of all the diets here. Elemental diet is generally used for individuals with significant health and, more importantly, gut issues. The diet gets its name as all the nutrients in this diet are supposed to be closest to the elemental forms. The diet uses nutritionally complete formulas which are already in a pre-digested form, so that the gut does not have to work hard in preparing enzymes and breaking the foods to be digested and absorbed. These formulas either come as powders or are in liquid form, and you are simply supposed to mix them with water and consume them. And these formulas cover the basic need of nutrients of the body, from proteins, fats, and carbs. These formulas break down these components into their basic building blocks like amino acids, vitamins, minerals, electrolytes, glucose, and small amounts of fats. The amount of fat is restricted as they are more difficult to be broken by the gut. When it comes to SIBO, elemental diet along with the use of specific antibiotics can work as an effective treatment protocol. This diet is also used for other gut-related conditions including Crohn's disease. Elemental diet can also be given to patients who have just gone through surgery or individuals who are very weak to consume proper food and digest them. It mostly helps in cases where individuals can only have liquid food with no solid foods. And the diet is made in a way that, if followed under the supervision of a doctor, can meet all the requirements of regular diet. Summing up, diet plays a profound role in gut health and thus also in SIBO. SIBO is a painful condition, and choosing the right diet with SIBO is important. The small intestine is a place where foods are broken down and digested. An overpopulation of bacteria in this area causes SIBO issues. Ensuring lesser consumption of fermentable carbohydrates has shown improvements. Perhaps the low Fodmap diet is the easiest to follow in SIBO and has shown remarkable benefits. Elemental diets are strongly advised to be pursued only under medical supervision. Hope you have enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more such videos, we recommend you to subscribe to our channel and give a thumbs up to this. A little bit of encouragement from you will go a long way for us. Thank you, and we hope to see you again. Bye for now.